All right, hello and welcome. How is everyone doing today? Hey, Thomas Potts, Jeff Franklin, and Bird of Prey 5. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about this. Apparently, I didn't think that blue was a different enough color from green. I didn't expect that. Oh, good, the top chat's working. This wasn't working a second ago, so I'm glad I got it working there. Thomas Potts, sorry that I'm sorry to hear that you could be doing better. I like hearing that everyone's good, but hopefully things turn around for you here soon. So hey, don't know how long I'll actually get to do this. Got some files copying that's supposed to take like hours, huge files, and so I figured I'd make most of that time and play around some. But anytime the phone rings, that's the end of it because it is during the workday. But I did also, as we get going here, I did want to talk about the Netflix movie Cuties that's coming out, and I've got some very, very complicated thoughts about all this. So if you tune in and you catch me in the middle of this, please listen to the whole thing. I'm going to make a disclaimer right here and start off by saying I am adamantly against the pedophilia that it seems like they're pushing. Like that's my starting line, okay? I do not like that they are hypersexualizing these little girls. I completely disapprove of it. But there's going to be a lot of caveats to everything. Not caveats. I'm going to expound on that idea. So let me start with that baseline, and I hope you guys stick around for kind of the full fleshing out that I do here. So for anyone who hasn't seen the Netflix preview, they are releasing a movie called Cuties, and it is your typical dance movie where you start off the movie and you have some uptight girl, and as the show goes on, they get footloose and fancy free. It is 100% the typical plotline for a dance movie. And obviously as the movie progresses, the outfit becomes more and more skimpy. So far, most of the world would not have a problem with it. Now, I don't like that kind of movie in general anyway. On a plot level, I find that they're really boring for me. Just, not my cup of tea. And on a moral level, I don't like a movie that encourages girls to get as naked as possible and dance around on a stage. If there's a movie that didn't involve that, I might like it more. A dance movie that wasn't about, stripping down and then dancing. But typically that's what a dance movie is all about. The problem that came up with the Netflix Cuties movie is that the age of these girls in question is 11.
Seeing you again. It's you. I'm here for her, not you.
Ooh,
I
harsh.
don't care why you're here. Your usefulness is the only thing that matters. How do we protect Mrs. Hawkins from the influence of the forces that claim her?
By following Charles Hawkins, that imbecile of a thief, of course.
What do you mean?
He found something. An amulet. The symbol engraved on it could protect Sarah.
Could?
We are dealing with forces that by far surpass what your intellect can process. Feel free to ask me any questions.
Glad this guy's pretty humble.
That exceed your grasp.
Okay, so we have 4 options here. Hopefully we get to do all of them. But just in case we don't, as always, I let you guys decide where this conversation is going to go. 1, we can say he sold the dagger to Sanders. 2, we can say that he must have had a plan for getting rid of it. 3, we're going to do this strange language. And 4, a dimensional shambler. Kind of ask him about that. Jeff Franklin, hey, how you doing, my friend? He's asking, can you die in this game? Yes, you can. But it's not permanent. It just reloads to the last checkpoint. So fortunately, this game isn't like the Sierra games of old where you get most of the way through the game and then you've locked yourself into a no-win scenario. At least it doesn't seem that way. It just reloads the last checkpoint. Like there was one time I was playing through, I think it was during the second playthrough of this, where I was fighting the dimensional shambler, and man, I died every other minute. Like it was a hard fight, but it was very rewarding when I got it right. Okay, so we're getting a response for number 4. Okay, a dimensional shambler.
This creature, the shambler, what is it?
It is a hunter. It travels from one dimension to another to hunt down its prey.
Francis Sanders was one of its victims. How could a creature like that end up in one of Mrs. Hawkins' paintings?
Sarah has an uncommon gift. A connection with entities that live beyond our reality. I doubt that she was aware at the time, but when she painted the picture in a certain way, she called it.
And now it remains in our reality.
Let us say that it uses the painting as a portal into our reality, and we make enticing prey for it.
That's why we must find
He
a
almost
way
makes it
of
sound
sending it back to
scientific
where it
instead
came
of
from permanently.
Cthulian. Okay, so I'm going to run through these real quick because I think we're going to be able to ask him all of these questions. Hey, Monty Spatchuk, how are you doing today? I'm doing fine, thank you.
The dagger with the strange sign. Was it you who sold it to Francis Sanders?
If you are referring to the dagger of the ancients, then yes, it was me. Why?
Do you know what he intended to do with it?
Francis was primarily a collector of occult objects. He liked rare items such as the dagger, but I doubt he knew its purpose.
It allowed me to send the creature you call the Shambler back into the painting.
Fascinating. But I am afraid that this might only be short-lived.
I thought I ripped that
You mean
painting
that
up with the
thing could
dagger.
Come back.
Yes, that is why I am looking for a more permanent
Like if the painting
solution.
is the connection
It
and I
must
ripped
never
up the
come
painting, I wonder how it actually came back.
A genius like you must have already found a way to get rid of this creature, yes?
I sense your sarcasm, but it does happen that, yes, I do have a solution. I think I can destroy it, but for that I must approach the creature. And to be able to do so, I need the key to Rie.
Another one of your baubles.
It is no bauble, unbeliever.
I don't
is a
trust this
very
guy.
Powerful protection, able to repel very ancient forces. Much more effective than your cult.
What does it look like?
It is a golden amulet.
Like I expect him
Very
almost more to
ancient
be
inscription
on the
with
cultist
an
side than
elder
on my
sign at its
side.
center. A star with an eye in the middle.
I've already seen that sign. Where can we find it?
Therein lies the problem. That foul thief, Charles, has hidden it somewhere. I found this drawing among his personal effects. I think that it has something to do with the location of the amulet.
I'll follow this lead. You continue searching.
That is what I intend to do. As for you, return here the second you find it. I don't want it to disappear again.
Ah, shoot. I should have done the special one. I thought it was going to let us do all of it.
It's you again.
Let me see if it won't let me bring up that last dialogue option. There we go. Okay, good.
What is the true nature of the Necronomicon?
I see that you are interested in my precious book.
I wish he
The
asked it like
definitive
in the
book of
strange
knowledge of the
language.
occult, Mr. Pierce, written by Abdul al-Hazred. It is the answer to many a question.
That is why it's so highly valued.
Yes, and even though it is a copy, given to me as a gift by Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University, the work remains very powerful.
I understand better why you keep it in a safe.
Okay, there we
That's
go.
all I wanted to know.
Thomas
All
Potts,
in good
is
time.
this the same RP? I do the same story. Where did I get this? I wasn't paying attention. That's weird. I just have this random photo now. Shoot, I wasn't paying attention. Where, what am I supposed to be doing with this photo? But Thomas, is this the same roleplay that I do? It is the same universe, but it is not the same story. The roleplay that I'm doing, the Cthulhu tabletop, is called The Haunting, which is what Wesley's talking about down there, maybe, that he's haunting me. And we're hopefully up to the last session. I just need to find a time to herd these cats of players I have and finish the game. Like, it's really, that's one of the hard things about being grown up, is that you really just want to play a game with your buddies, and finding a time when all of us can actually do that is just impossible. But we'll get there eventually. Because I literally think we're down to the last session. It's just finding the time, you know? I see you, Wesley. You're haunting me. Matthew. Vegeta. I'm haunting you now. Which, if you guys don't get that reference, oh, I see. I gotta go through the house and find this artifact concealed by Charles Hawkins. Where have I already seen it? Okay. I'm glad I walked around some before leaving. So now I'm looking for something new. A sketch of a still life. Let's go up to the observatory, or the drawing room. So if you didn't get the Vegeta reference, that is from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which they've canceled. They're no longer doing any more Dragon Ball Z Abridged stuff. They said that the humor it was gone. They were forcing themselves at this point, which is too bad. And I kind of agree with them. Like, the quality was going downhill. But more importantly, I feel like it was going downhill because every other week they were having to fight with Funimation or Toei Animation. So anyway, cuties. And this is where the problems came up, is what I was saying. Is that even though it's your standard dance movie, the issue was that it features 11-year-old girls. And apparently the main character is a 11-year-old Islamic girl from a traditional Islamic family, and when she starts to join this dance troupe, she actually takes it into she actually is the one that pushes it into being hypersexualized. And this is where my complicated views come in, because I think that Netflix is playing everyone like a fool with this. They are getting everyone worked into a frenzy over this movie. People are calling for cancel Netflix, which I'm against. I don't like cancel culture. I am firmly against it, and I think that people calling for Netflix to be canceled is just a reflection of cancel culture, and it's not going to solve anything. Here's the next piece of the clue. But more importantly, I think that... Oh, that was easy.
This is the amulet that Drake was looking for.
I was expecting to have to do more of searching. So what I think is going to happen is that... Ooh. A glimpse of the future? Yeah, Thomas, cheater. But what I think is going to happen is that when all this is said and done, the movie's going to come out, and you're going to find that as the girl takes it more and more sexual, and they're getting all this attention, and the girls are loving the attention, these little 4-year-old girls, or excuse me, 11-year-old girls, these 4 11-year-old girls. I think that the end message is going to be that the attention they were receiving was a bad thing. I think the message is going to be that they actually meet up at one point with some older guys, and the older guys try to pursue these younger girls, and it's actually is portrayed as a bad thing. That is my guess right now. Now, I'm going to give a caveat to that guess. France is right now. France is the lady who wrote this movie, produced it, directed it, whatever, came from France.
It's you again.
And right now, the age of consent in France is 15, which is already absurdly low. But right now, they're actually pushing for the age of consent to be lowered to 11.
I think I've found what we're looking for.
And
Let me see that.
when Netflix was called out
perfect.
about the Cuties movie,
We are saved.
I must tell Mrs. Hawkins.
their response was very measured of, we support all different kinds of creativity, and especially the freedom of expression within one's religion and their cultures. And I think that the response of mentioning religions was very deliberate on Netflix's part, because France is becoming a increasingly Islamic country, which is very much a political ideology. And I believe that, let's see how many, I got 6. Let's go and finish upgrading my psychology. There we go. So I think that, whoops, gotta validate this first. So I think that that's why in France you're seeing this push for the age of consent to be lowered to 11, because part of the cultural political ideology of Islam is that 11-year-olds is an acceptable age for marriage. I firmly disagree with this idea.
Considering that nothing will help you change your mind.
You must understand, I already went too far.
What have you seen?
Did you see that? They misspelled "two."
Convinced yourself that you had to risk so much.
I can't tell you now.
This story is going to end badly.
Yes. Chief West is here with Sullivan.
Bradley, you take care of Sarah. I will deal with them.
You sure? All right.
So I don't think Netflix will ever take it down. So even if it turns out that Cuties is exactly what everyone is saying, that it is a movie about hypersexualizing 11-year-olds, and they presented that as if it was a good thing, I think Netflix will never take it down, because to take it down would be to say that Islam was bad, because it's the Islamic groups within France right now who's really pushing for the lowering of the age of consent down to 11. And that will never, ever happen. Netflix would never say that about Islam.
That's not the whole story, is it?
And also, Netflix, they're not idiots. They know that for every person who actually does cancel, most of them will be right back in a couple months after they've made their point. And in the meantime, they're actually going to see a surge of people subscribing to their service who just want to be, we're going to stick it to all those prudes who don't like underage girls expressing themselves. But again, my main theory, my main guess at this point in time is that they have presented the movie in such a way to get everyone all worked up about it. They're going to see a surge of subscriptions from people who either want to be like, well, everyone else is just being prudish, so I'm going to support Netflix. And from people who already have decided to hate the movie and are just going to watch it so they can tell everyone how mad they were about it. So they're going to see an initial surge of subscriptions, and then the movie's going to come out, and it's going to turn out that it was nothing like how it was described. I think the end message is going to be that the attention the girls is getting is bad, and she's going to return to her traditional roots. That's my guess. Okay, so we're going to the police station with the help of Drake. Pierce has obtained an amulet that is supposed to protect Sarah Hawkins against the evil powers that covered her. We'll see. I really don't trust that guy. The painter told him of her desire to track and kill the dimensional shambler in order to atone for her sins. Before Pierce could stop her, he was arrested by the police. All right. And Thomas Potts is saying, I don't think the movie will be against a movie with sex and underage. After all, Hollywood loved that movie about a teen boy that had a relationship with an adult man, and it won lots of awards, and it didn't portray it as bad. That's a good point, Thomas Potts. I was actually trying to remember what the name of that movie was, because I remember it aired on TV one day, and it was an interesting plot line, and I was a young kid myself at the time, and about halfway through the movie, like as I was watching it, I started to get really uncomfortable because I started to notice like they were trying to present this relationship between the two as something good, and I remember it didn't go too far. If it's the same movie I'm thinking of, it didn't go too far in their relationship. But I remember as a kid being like extremely uncomfortable that this is how Hollywood was presenting things. And you're also right. Hollywood is very much steeped in the sexual abuse culture. Everyone is aware of the casting couch, and
I've heard a lot about you.
people like Rosie O'Donnell, they made a big deal about shouting against those who did the casting couch.
Misdemeanors since your arrival on Darkwater.
But it was only once all the evidence came out to the public. She knew about all that ahead of time. She was best friends with these people.
And to top it all,
So Hollywood doesn't care about the abuse. Okay, so they're mad that I entered private property twice. I was aggressive. Insulting behavior. I don't think you can hold me for insulting behavior. And to top it all off, arson. Well, that's not entirely true. Okay, so we got three options. How am I going to respond to this police officer? Am I going to say that I am ready to cooperate with him? That's number one. Two, truth comes at a cost. And three, he's in no position to lecture me. So two would be me being like, well, yeah, I did all that stuff, but hey, I'm searching for the truth. So, that's that. One would be me being cooperative, and three would be me being kind of aggressive in my response. And Wesley's calling for 4, burn the house down. Hey, Lowdown Show, how are you doing? It has been a while.
With all the liquor that is openly on sale in the middle of Prohibition, do you really want me to believe that you're enforcing the law?
Enough of that. You're not going to tell me how to do my job. I would like to point out that it is you, not me, who is behind bars.
There are things going on right now that are so much more serious than what you accuse me of.
Yeah? So what's going on that I don't know about?
Okay, looks like I get quite a few options here. I can either claim that there's a dangerous cult at work. That'll be number 1. 2, the Hawkins case is far from closed, which they thought Sarah Hawkins was dead and Charles with her. So they're not. 3, I can say that Fuller isn't as innocent as he looks. And you'll see that this one has that investigation expert underneath it. And what that is saying is that it's going to prompt me to make a skill check. And because I am a good enough investigator, this has kind of opened up an avenue of dialogue for me, and I can present kind of my findings for the case about Fuller. But I thought Fuller was my friend cop. I must be getting my names mixed up. And 4, no point wasting my time where I'm just not going to talk to you at all. So 1, a dangerous cult is at work. 2, Hawkins case is far from closed. 3, I try to present some evidence. And 4, no point wasting my time. Thomas Potts asked for a lawyer. Yeah, so this is taking place in like the 1920s. I'm not sure how much they're going to care about due process on a backwater island where there's already a cult operating out of. So that one might not be my best option. And I see Monty's saying 1, so we'll go ahead and say 1. There's a dangerous cult at work.
There's a bunch of fanatics who are attacking this island's most ancient beliefs.
I suppose these are the ones who desecrated the statue of St. Brendan, while I'm looking at a man who burned down a hospital.
Influential people from your community are part of it, operating in the shadows.
You got a real imagination, detective.
There was a tunnel leading to their hideout under the Hawkins mansion, but it caved in.
Oh, how very convenient. Right. Enough time wasted. Come on, I'll show you to your new residence. I'll be back later to ask you some questions. I hope that you'll make the right choice and confess to everything. It would be as unpleasant for you as it would be for me if I had to adopt more advanced questioning.
I have no doubt about that.
Good night, Mr. Pierce.
Oh, that was a nice way to end the conversation. What a friendly guy. Telling me good night. Oh.
Mr. Pierce, the truth seeker.
Ooh.
We meet at last.
Who's there?
Okay. Am I going crazy? Or is it actually raining in my jail cell? Oh, I'm gonna drown here. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure I won't drown, but this isn't a great way to start things. Yeah, tell the cops that Wesley did it. Oh.
I am the one
Hello.
named Leviathan. Not because of the scale of my terrestrial form, but as a reminder of the immensity of my knowledge, which I came to share with you, human.
Ooh, I don't think I want you to share your knowledge with me. Of course, I don't want to be drowning either, so I mean...
Do not struggle. You will not be able to speak or escape my influence.
So he has... Okay, so we have 3 options. I can try to speak, I can try to struggle, or I can just submit. And so this is the same kind of green smoke thing that we destroyed in the last episode. That green liquidy oil. And then the Leviathan creature was from the first part of the gameplay or gameplay walkthrough that I did. We found out that this was a whaling village. The whales were gone. They went out one last time. They caught this Leviathan of a creature. And that's when everything started to get weird. So apparently this is the creature they caught. And Monty's asking if I think that they're disguising his face to hide the asset reuse. Probably. And for as expensive as the game as this was normally, I got it on like half off price, but I think it's usually like $30 to $40 on Steam and GOG. It's surprising how much they reused assets. Yeah, Thomas, tell the cops that Wesley did it, and Jeff is claiming it's all his fault. I doubt that. I doubt that very much. So we're gonna go and struggle against this guy.
I told you to behave. You are here to accept the knowledge and follow the path that leads to your freedom. This is an offer that the likes of you, particularly those with such rare characteristics, cannot refuse.
Can't I, though?
The more you
Can't I, though?
your human spirit to make it able to receive the truth, the closer you will come to embrace his power. Where is the Oracle, Truth Seeker? Would you like to see her?
Okay, so am I going to accept the knowledge, which will probably... I'm assuming that accepting the knowledge kind of puts me onto a cultist pathline, but I don't know. I could be 100% wrong about this. Or, number 2, we can refuse the knowledge. So we can accept the knowledge and I think go deeper into the Cthulhu mythos, or we can refuse the knowledge and see what happens. And Lowdown Show, am I going to start reviewing Lower Decks? So I do talk about it a little bit on my virtual pubs, which I do on Wednesday nights, and it's an open line sort of thing. The Anti-Trekker is my co-host for it, and the two of us, we have anyone who wants to come up can join us. Recently, I've been dropping it down to only 4 people at a time, so me, Anti-Trekker, and 2 other people. I was doing 6 people in total, but it just seemed like it got out of control when I did that. Okay, and everyone's saying, accept the knowledge, so here we go.
Where is the Oracle? Is she not the very object?
This will affect my destiny, I bet.
I'll let you see for yourself. But do not forget. Your fate has already been written.
I really didn't like the first 2 episodes of Lower Deck.
Paths shall cross again, truth seeker.
But I really liked the 3rd episode of Lower Decks. So I have hopes that maybe the first 2 episodes were establishing what a bad person Mariner was, and we're going to see her character develop. But we'll find out.
It is not about me, but innocent lives. I hope that your sources are reliable.
The bootleggers have the painting. If the dimensional shambler is to appear, he will do it here. The shambler. I knew it.
No, not again.
Now, Jeff, I am surprised to hear you gave it such a low score of 1.5 out of 10.
Algernon, come back!
What was it that really gave it such a bad score for you? Because I thought they did a fantastic job with the third episode. Like, I literally was smiling from beginning to end with episode 3. I like the fact that, like, how many times has it been that Data would be doing some performance and everyone would just give thunderous applause when he was done because he was Data? So to take that, and instead of having everyone just applaud for Boimler's, very precise fiddle work or violinist work, just have like one awkward clap at the end. That was great. And I really like that at the end they had the punchline with the security chief mistaking him as being the one doing all the loud bass noise. Monty, applauding Dead is like applauding his CD player. That's kind of harsh, but not entirely wrong. Like a CD player that, could do things differently and yet doesn't. Like a CD player that you could have like a bit of code in there to randomly choose 3 different ways of playing the song or something. I also really, really enjoyed seeing Mariner she really got put in her place this episode. And it was really much a, you know what, Starfleet has a reason for doing things, and you're in the wrong, Mariner. So I really enjoyed that about the episode. Because that gives me hope that we're going to see real character growth in this series, and not just Mariner being perfect all the time. Because that was one of my main concerns, because this show is very, very Rick and Morty. And I was thinking that this was going to end up being Mariner would be kind of like Rick, and she'd always be right, she'd always know the most. And the fact that they didn't take it that way is a really, really good thing. It gives me hope. That's what I like about it. But Lowdown Show, am I going to start doing more like dedicated reviews? I don't know. I might start doing the day after reviews like I used to for Picard. And I'd kind of like to do that because that would mean Yosef would get to join in. And I miss getting to talk with Yosef because the time differences are too much for him to be around when I'm doing the evening show for the virtual pub. Man, there's a lot of dead people. I'm assuming everyone's a Shambler. Which I saw the Shambler painting down there. I'm just trying to explore around and see what I can find before moving forward. Would I let my kids watch it? No. My oldest is only just barely 7. So I would not let him watch it because of all the swearing that they do. Wait, I thought he was dead. Am I seeing things? Like, is it just the asset being reused confusing me? Okay, where was... It was down over here. Oh, I thought that was my friend, the bookstore guy. Drake. Algernon, whatever his name is, Blake. Drake. Okay, let's... Like, I don't want to interact with that yet, per se. Like, look at it going crazy there. I hate it. Oh, man, I wish this game would let me save so I could go back and see what happens if I choose a different path. But it very much auto-saves. So I'm going to go listen in to the other people before interacting with the painting there. Have I seen the Orville? Yes, I love the Orville. I was a little hesitant at first, like the way they opened up with Ed walking in on his wife cheating on him, and then it being right at the moment of it ending. Not a great way to start a show, in my opinion, but they actually recovered from that, and it has been a fantastic show. In fact, I recently heard that it seems like after season 3, there's not going to be any more Orville. Like, apparently it's being canceled. Which I hope we still get a season on Hulu. I'm not sure if it's saying there's never going to be any Orville again.
Hey! You can't leave us!
Sorry, old friend, but it's either you or me.
No! What are you... No! Open! Open up! Open this door! It's here.
I wonder if Drake still has the amulet. Is there more than one of them?
The beast is within our reach.
Are you sure you want to do it?
Let's go.
Quickly, come with me!
Okay, yeah, he has the amulet. Jeff is saying, what did Picard say in First Contact? Humanity works to improve themselves to be better. What did we see in this episode? Lower your work ethic, goofing off as much as possible. That's not Starfleet. So I slightly disagree with that.
I'll never forgive myself for this painting. I'll
Okay.
never forgive myself for this
So burn
painting.
it. Destroy it. Do something. No? I can't burn it?
I'll
Okay.
never forgive myself for this painting.
So what are we doing
How
here,
do we
buddy?
kill it?
The Shambler can open breaches between dimensions. He uses glyphs as anchors to stay in our world.
Then I must destroy these glyphs.
Exactly.
Okay.
How can I find
Glyphs
I will
destruction.
make the glyphs visible so you can revoke them. By doing so, this zone will be protected by a barrier.
Perfect. Stay inside the shield.
I'll create the protective barrier. Get back inside it as soon as you sense the slightest danger.
Okay. Okay, game saved. Very cool. Okay, so I need to stay in
first glyph
here.
must have appeared somewhere on the floor.
Somewhere on the floor, huh? That's... So I gotta go running around looking for glyphs. So I usually try to intentionally do things wrong the first time, just so I can get a feel for how to do things right.
Sarah, it should react to the light if you use your lamp.
So we'll see here. I'm kind of intentionally trying to let the Shambler get me at this point, because I want to find out the rules for this part of the game. So I disagree. I don't think that the show is trying to say you need to be lazy and you need to have a bad work ethic. I get that's the joke they were going for. But the actual point of the episode was
I need
that
some oil.
that by obsessing over every second being maximum efficiency, they actually were being detrimental to themselves. And yes, they put it as a funny. They worded it just for the funny of, okay, well, cut corners and do what you need to do to get things done. But I think trying to make that the moral is going too far. It was just supposed to be a funny gag, and I thought it was pretty funny. But at the same time, Jeff, I do get your overall point that this is not Star Trek. It isn't. It is, however, a fun show set in the Star Trek mythos. And if you,
I can't move it. Is it acting against me?
and if you come at it with that mindset,
Don't worry, it's just until I ward it off.
then you can have a lot of fun
The
with it.
Wanderer is back. The glyph is ready, Sarah. Run!
All right. Oop. I am not a fast runner.
The second symbol has been revealed. You know what you have to do, Sarah.
Jeff saying, I didn't see it being funny to you either. So I get where you're coming from, Jeff. You definitely have a mindset of what Star Trek should be like, and this is not fitting your vision for it, and so it's not a fun show. I completely understand and sympathize with anyone who has that outlook. For me, I'm able to have a lot of fun with this show precisely because I see that it is just it's just a silly thing, and I think it does a good job of. What if I get inside? Well, that didn't work. So I get that viewpoint, Jeff. I just disagree, and I think that
the symbol has been revealed. You know what you have to do, Sarah.
I think if you just take it for the fun it's supposed to be, then it's a fun show. I also think it's a lot more Star Trek than we've gotten in a long time. Precisely because okay, so I guess that slows him down. Okay, so as long as I'm holding the lamp down, it slows him down. All right. That's interesting.
Me, my friend. I have the impression the Shambler is trying to anticipate our actions. The second glyph must have appeared. Let's press on.
Okay, so
He's
I
getting
come here.
stronger and more aggressive. If he catches up with you, try blinding him.
Let's see. All right.
Now is when matters get complicated.
The captain took it at the opposite end of the scale, but it has to be somewhere in
You have to
between.
lure it in front of me, Sarah. Do you understand?
I have to lure it in
Once
front
it
of
goes
me.
after you,
Okay.
I need you to guide it towards me.
I disagree. I don't feel like it feels like the Orville light. I do think that the show has a Star Trek-esque feel to it. It's not TNG. It's not Voyager. It's not DS9. At the same time, it's not Discovery or Picard. It is.
We're almost there, Sarah. Only one glyph left to find.
It is definitely more of a. How to put it? How would I describe that? I'm out of oil is how I might describe it. And see, so Lowdown Show, this is why I haven't really done a review
I'm sure of it.
on Lower Decks yet. Whenever I try to put how I feel about it, I just have a hard time describing it. Like for the first 2 episodes, I was, oh gosh, I couldn't stand it. It was just the worst. But with this 3rd episode, I really ended up having a good fun time.
Release me now! Algernon!
Done! Quickly! Bring him towards me!
Oh, that was a mistake. So I do think that Lower Decks, it has the most Star Trek-like feel that we've gotten since Enterprise. I think that find and destroy the second glyph? Oh no, I'm on the 3rd. Okay. I do think that I could see a ship like this being in Star Trek, or I could see it being in the Federation. Not everyone in the Federation is going to be perfect. But at the same time, I do think that typically Star Trek wouldn't focus on the worst ship in the fleet. And they wouldn't do it simply because that wasn't Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future. Gene Roddenberry definitely had in the future, we're all kind of Ubermensch, and we're the best of the best. And to be looking at it from this perspective, we're not looking at the best. We're looking at the dregs of human society. But at the same time, the actual the actual people fit a lot better into Star Trek than, say, the people of Discovery. Like, in Discovery, they're just everyone...
Release me now.
Everyone was so nihilistic.
Done.
Everyone
Quickly,
was
bring him towards me.
so... Darn it. What's going on here? Like, by the time it let me move, I was already dead. So yeah, in Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard, it wasn't just that the people were nihilistic. It was that that Starfleet itself was evil. That's what it is. In Discovery and Picard, the Federation was evil.
Done. Quickly, bring him towards me.
And in Lower Decks, I don't get the feeling that Star Trek is evil. I get the feeling that this is a crew of incompetent people, absolutely, but not that Star Trek is an evil organization. What the heck? Apparently, there's no more base. And Monty, the Federation is a utopia that kind of makes it evil. I get what you're saying, on a political level, but at the same time, like Star Trek wasn't supposed to be evil, and Star Trek was portrayed as something that humanity could strive for. It was what the ideal people should be, and in Picard, you didn't get that anymore. In Discovery, you didn't get that anymore. It was no longer that people were good and noble. It was that people were good, especially
Sarah.
Michael Burnham.
Only one glyph left
But
to find.
the agencies around her, the Federation, the Klingon Empire, everyone else was full of just the worst people ever, and they were holding everyone back from being good. Which is kind of a millennial mindset in general. No offense to millennials. It's just you find often that the belief that individuals are good is just institutions that are evil. So people want to be good, but because the government is evil, well, therefore they can't be as good as we want to, and the society suffers. People want to be good, but because religion is evil, well, we just can't be as good, and people suffer. It's really interesting because even though organizations and institutions are made up of people, somehow it's always
Done. Quickly, bring him towards me.
it's always other people. It's always the ruling bodies of that entity that are keeping everyone from being as good as they otherwise could be. Okay. Let's refill my lamp real quick. Okay, lure him into the circle.
Well done, Sarah. It's time we were done with this.
So in Lower Decks, however, I didn't get that feeling. In Lower Decks, in Lower Decks, I got the feeling that the Federation is just as good as it's always been. The Federation is still an organization that is good and nice and someone you want to be a part of. It's just these individuals aren't good and nice. Or even then, it's not the individuals aren't good. The individuals are incompetent. Excuse me. The individuals are incompetent.
It's too late.
Must resist. Please, don't.
Hey, Rock Solid Productions, how are you doing? Dance, monkey dance. I'm doing my best. I did. Rock Solid is saying I got a big shout out and a feature in a video today. I think I have it pulled up. I just haven't finished it yet. I got busy, and then I wanted to take a minute to play a game before things got hectic again. But I do have it pulled up. I'll have to finish it. Okay, so Monty, your comment. If the Federation is a representation of the best we can be, stick me in a ship and send me far away. So I do like the idea of looking at the Federation from more of a Harry Mudd perspective, where every time, like you're trying to run a business, like a Ferengi, and every time you try to get the rights to deliver some medicine or even do like humanitarian aid, all of a sudden you find that the flagship, the most powerful, fastest, bestest ship in the entire Federation, is running like a humanitarian thing. Like, can you imagine if every time Red Cross tried to do something, if instead the Navy took over the operation, and so Red Cross is just standing there twiddling their thumbs? I'd like to look at it from that perspective, but while that might make a fun fan film, it wouldn't make for a good Star Trek TV show. Because when we look at Star Trek, we want to be looking at the Federation. We want to be looking at them exploring and finding new things, and Lower Decks doesn't do that. And I get that that's why a lot of people don't like Lower Decks. I think they might be over harsh in judging it. No offense, Jeff. But I understand why they judge it that way. Because they want something that is true to form for DS9, TNG, TOS, everything outside Picard and Discovery, basically. So let's see. Sarah Hawkins, together with Drake, managed to permanently, we'll see, drive the dimensional Shambler back. At the end of the fierce battle, however, the feat of the strength cost her what is left of her self-awareness, and she has succumbed to the call of the myth.
Sarah Hawkins. Why did she do it? Damn it.
Did our guest enjoy our hospitality?
Let me out of here.
I'm warning you, Pierce. I want a short and clear-cut confession. Do you admit your guilt in the case brought before you?
You don't have any idea what's happening on this damn island.
Chief West, we got a problem.
Damn it, not now. What is it this time?
Captain Fitzroy, Chief. Some guys have ransacked Roy's bar. They went berserk, attacked the patrons, smashed the place up. It's chaos.
This is only the beginning. Let me out.
Let's go take a look. Tell Sullivan and Marshall to keep this one nice and warm till I get back.
Are you stupid? Don't you understand? Goddamn idiot.
See, Thomas, a while back you made a comment. I think is Discovery didn't suck, people would like Lower Decks. You're saying that you think that if Discovery didn't suck, people would like Lower Decks? I'm prone to agree with you, my friend. I think that there are a lot of people who have gotten into the mindset that everything that comes out of CBS Trek is garbage. Anything that Kurtzman has his name attached to is garbage. Anything Secret Robot does is garbage. Or Bad Robot Secret Hideout. To the point that even if they do something good, it's going to bring their overall score down to the bottom. Rock Solid is saying Lower Standards is garbage. It's not even funny. I haven't laughed once, not once. I so disagree. I was laughing, like even in the first episode, which I hated the first episode. There was still one moment that had me chuckle.
As promised, I come back to reiterate the offer of truth. As your mind expands and finally understands the true nature of the world, your perceptions change. Are you ready to see your world and the ones that live in it as they truly are?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have zero idea what any of this means, but so we're gonna start at the top. Pick a number, 1 through 6, people. Which one do you want me to choose? Top right is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in a clockwise rotation, starting at the top right. We'll see what happens here. So Rock Solid. So in the most recent episode, when Boimer got his violin broken because the security chief thought he was the one making the racket, like that didn't get any sort of even like a smile out of you. But that's a real funny moment to me. I guess, like to me, I do enjoy Rick and Morty a lot, and I see the same kind of humor being presented in Lower Decks, and so it's something that I'm enjoying, because I do think that they're presenting the pop cultural references well, which in this case is Star Trek references. I feel like this third episode had a good storyline. I also like the fact, I really, really like the fact that, excuse me, Mariner got put in her place. At the end of the episode for this third one, the hero of it was Starfleet. It was doing the rules that saved everyone. But I think one of the things, and I know there's probably someone already typing, it wasn't doing the rules that saved everyone. It was not doing it. Let me explain this.
Follow the path.
It was doing the rules in the right way that saved the day. When it is a adherence to the clock, there is a degradation to productivity. Like I was mentioning this on a live stream a long time ago, I want to say, but the Navy actually did a study in which they increased the amount of time you spent on shift, but as a result, you actually got more dedicated time. Like you used to do 6 hours on shift, and then I forget the exact details, but whoops, that's not good. It was 6 hours on shift, like if you're at a bridge station, let's say, and then the way the rest of the day was scheduled to fit everything into the remaining 18 hours, you ended up not wait, that's the painting again. Did it come back? Did they have a third one? So you ended up not having as much free time. But when they opened it up to an 8-hour on deck, well, with 16 hours dedicated to other duties and then also sleep, they found an increase in productivity. And I kind of feel like that was the actual point of this episode, that if you are a slave to the clock, then things actually end up going worse. And they actually did another study where they tried to evaluate how long things actually took. And so they looked over like 50 years of service records. And they saw that, this is how long they predicted, and this is how long it actually took for them to perform a task. And they tried to make it such that that was the expectation, that you had to meet that time period.
Who are you, truth seeker? I may see you in my dreams. I still can't decide if you will be my doom.
But what they found is when they tried to adhere to the actual time schedule, because they were trying to be so precise, the productivity actually took a plunge. And they also found that the more complicated a task was, the less likely it was to have good records about how long it took. Simply because the more complicated, like an engineer's task, would be less likely to have detailed, this, I did this, I did this, I did this.
Dom, what happened?
So the point is I had fun.
Want to hear what these two Egypts have to say?
This better be interesting.
Seems like someone decided to grant you your deepest wish.
A mutiny?
Worse. They killed Chief West.
What?
And left his body in one of our warehouses.
You're kidding.
They're all yours.
Which one of you is dumb enough to kill a cop and throw him on my doorstep?
We don't know nothing.
The dead body in my warehouse disagrees.
We swear, miss, it's not us.
I don't have time for this. Spill it.
We've got nothing to do with it.
Okay, so 1, are we going to say, what do you think, Dom, the guy here in the back? 2, am I going to punch the one on the right? 3, am I going to punch the one on the left, the ginger? Or 3, am I going to threaten them, saying that I'm in a bad mood? Roxelle is saying, if I weren't doing the series on my channel, I'd stop watching. I was ready to stop watching after last week. This week does give me hope. This week says that maybe we're going to get a storyline where Mariner is the instrument of her own destruction. That she is the cause for everything bad going on in her life. And the more she rebels against this, the more she tries to be this happy-go-lucky, scrappy underdog kind of person, the worse her life is going to get. And I would love to see that storyline. And I think they're laying down the foundations for it. Next week is really going to let us know if they continue going down this path, or if yesterday was a kind of a one-off episode. Let's see. A vote for hitting the ginger on the left. Okay.
Actually, you just gave me an idea.
You can beat me as much as you want. I won't speak.
And why is that?
They always know what's in our heads.
We can't even want to tell you.
They will know the minute we consider telling you.
Stop. You're giving me a headache.
But you can look by yourself. You're clever.
Yeah. She'll figure it out.
Where is this workshop?
I'll go with
Kat
you.
is not
You
an
must be
impressive
talking about
woman.
the old boat repair workshop.
Like, I imagine her punching that fisherman and him being more annoyed than hurt by the punch. Like look at her. She is not someone who's going to give a hard punch.
That's hooey.
But she's the head of the mafia in the 1920s on this island.
Do you want me to settle it with some lead?
Scurvy dog, always threatening us.
Quieten these lunkheads down before I shiv the lot of them.
I'll take care of them. A bunch of liquor sponges aren't going to lay down
Oh,
the
come
law
on,
around
Rock
here.
Solid.
I'll take a look at this workshop.
Rather listen to the
Join me when you're
DNC
finished.
convention than watch Lower Decks. Let's see, JB was saying, hey man, saw this series on Netflix called High Score about the history of video games. Think it would make for an interesting topic for you to cover, if I have time. Yeah, so honestly, I've been so bad about doing produced videos. I've been doing some gameplay stuff. I've been having fun doing my weekly virtual pub. I started to do a every Tuesday series with John DeMarco on Sequest, a TV show from 1993, ran for 3 seasons about kind of a Star Trek under the ocean. But I haven't been doing much in the way of produced videos, and I really would like to get back into it. I have a notepad that I keep of all the video ideas I'd like to do. The one at the top of my list, okay, so I actually have a couple at the top of my list. I got some video game repair type stuff that I need to do. I wanted to talk about why I'm going the route that I'm actually going here, where I'll be doing some RGB mods on it instead of going for the easier to do component mod, which, you know, it might seem kind of confusing. So I'm going to explain why I'm doing that, which I think is a fascinating subject, but I also know a lot of people are going to find it dry. So what I'm going to do for it is what I'm going to call a shot for shot take. And what that is every time I screw up a shot, I'm going to take a shot of some drink to be determined later. So I think that will make for a fun video. We'll see. It'll at least be an interesting challenge to see, because you get to a point where the more you mess up, the more you're going to be messing up as the number of shots increase. So we'll see about that one. I also have one on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse coming up. I think it was a great movie, but I think they also made a huge mistake at one point. And where is the body I'm supposed to be looking at? This should not, like, it should be really obvious. There's blood, and there should be a body. How am I missing this? Did any of y'all see the body? Like, am I just being blind here? Okay, here's blood trail. Is it in the boat? Okay, there we go. Roxal is saying at least the DNC doesn't sugarcoat the fact that they're going to insult you. Lower Decks does in every episode. Very unenjoyable. Fair enough. Like I said to Jeff, I understand
someone had told me
there
that
are
one
certainly
day
those
West's
who
work would kill him.
simply cannot work with the premise of Lower Decks, and I don't hold that against them. I get that. I am able to compartmentalize a lot of things, and I'm able to have fun with this.
Here. Where did the murder happen?
At least I'm able to have fun with this last episode. I hated episode 1 and 2. I especially hated that it looked like they were doubling down in episode 2. And I've said this before about Star Trek TNG. Encounter at Farpoint is my least favorite premiere to any Star Trek series ever. I hate Encounter at Farpoint more than I hate the Vulcan Hello. For different reasons, mind you. I think the Vulcan Hello craps all over how Vulcans act, craps all over the known facts of the series, but at least it's a better done episode.
So this is where West was killed. What's that? What the fuck is that? Where did it come from?
Leave it a cat to drop an F-bomb. Oh, someone's tentacly.
He wasn't alone.
So yeah, even though, well, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought there. Sorry, guys. Something about Lower Decks, I'm sure. Oh well. We'll keep moving forward.
There's only one man who smokes these gaspers. Fitzroy.
You're not supposed to be here, Truth Seeker.
I knew it!
What's going on outside?
What? Huh.
What's going on outside?
So now What? Okay, apparently I'm a horrible shot in this game. This will take me a few tries. Comparing premieres.
What's going on outside?
This is my last warning. Next one who comes close gets one in the head.
That's weird. Yeah, aim for the head. I thought I was aiming right at him, but I kept hitting the guy behind him. I knew Sarah Hawkins was up to no good.
What the hell?
Dom, get out of here.
Go! I'll cover you. Die, you filthy rat!
So
Damn it.
interesting. Anyway, do I need new soldering iron? I just picked up one that is very good. So the one I have right now is it's a basic one from Weller, and it has settings that go from 1 to 5. I don't have like a digital iron or anything like that. It does a good enough job. I know how to use it well.
Yes. Wake up.
The only problem is like
What happened?
Take that weapon, you'll need it.
when I use the that desoldering iron.
What? Tell me.
My head. You're coming into my head.
The
Bradley, damn it, pull yourself together.
the one that was a desoldering pump combined with an iron. Oh, that thing was the worst. Hey, what are we going to do? Are we going to try to say, where's Sarah Hawkins is 1. 2, are we going to try to reason with him? 3, ask him if it's related to the nightmares. 4, the cold is behind your condition. Or 5, try to tell him that he's stronger than it. So yeah, it works well. It was just that stupid desoldering pump with the built-in desoldering iron that messed everything up. And no, I am not going to be desoldering while drunk. The shot for shot would be only while I'm doing explaining why I'm doing the RGB stuff, maybe another subject or two, because I have some Arduino stuff I was going to talk about. Talking about like how I got into the job I do now, and how it all started with the Blink program, with the Arduino. Okay, we got to vote for number 3. Is it related to the nightmares?
The things you see in your dreams, do you think they could be related to whatever is happening to you?
Yes. Well, Sarah Hawkins told me so.
So where is she now?
I was unable to stop her.
What do you mean, unable?
She left with the bookseller. He came back, alone. Told me she couldn't resist the call. The doctors told me later that they saw her going in the direction of the whaling station.
Damn it!
I'm turning, Pierce, into one of those things.
Aww.
No! Keep fighting it, Bradley.
I think I'm gonna have to shoot Bradley.
It's too late. You have to end this. Do it. Kill me.
Do it. Okay, 1, are we gonna shoot Bradley, or 2, are we gonna spare Bradley?
Enough killing.
Idiot.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
Now
It automatically selected. I didn't click. It just auto-selected. Hope you live, Bradley. Good luck. Oh, yeah, okay, so I was comparing how the premieres...
Hawkins.
Thanks, Jeff. It finally clicked with me. So, one of the things I've said in the past with TNG, I hated Encounter at Farpoint.
Who's there?
So, even though... Oh, this game is going to be brutal to me from this point on, I see. This is bullcrap.
Sarah Hawkins was going to the whaling station. Stop. Oh, God. What am I doing?
I wonder if this is hurting my sanity. So for as much as I hate Encounter at Farpoint, I do really enjoy the rest of TNG. I think TNG is a good series. So my point here is that there is nothing that will make me enjoy the first 2 episodes of Lower Decks. Lower Decks will always be just horrible.
How did you manage to get out of your cell?
Officer Bradley came to free.
The first 2 episodes of Lower Deck were all these horrible.
Sense of justice.
So even if it turns out where
I'm sorry, officer.
even if it turns out where they were setting Mariner up to be hated at the first 2 episodes, and then she has this great character arc and she develops into something better, it's not going to fix the first 2 episodes of Lower Decks.
Thanks.
Mariner made those first 2 episodes absolutely insufferable. Thomas Potts, you talking about my Wiccan hunting job? No, that's just a hobby, man. My job is actually programming, industrial equipment. Like, do I have to kill everyone? It seems like there should be a way to, I don't know, stealth my way through stuff. It doesn't look like they're really giving me that option. And the fact that 1 hit takes me down, that's just annoying. Yeah, Monty, they attended the two-handed Star Trek fighting school. Robert is saying, I liked Encounter at Farpoint. It was better than the TNG episode where we find out Data is fully functional and well-versed in multiple techniques. Yeah, the Naked Now. Yeah, the Naked Now was bad. Oh. Well. That works. Would I say that the Naked Now was worse than Encounter at Farpoint? I don't know, man. I really, really hate Encounter at Farpoint. It was... If it wasn't a Star Trek premiere, I think that would have been an episode that made me not watch this series anymore.
It looks like an old Seaway map.
And to be fair, you know what? I think that Lower Decks, if it weren't for the Star Trek name, I would not have continued to watch Lower Decks. But because it did have the Star Trek name, I stuck it out. And we'll see what happens. Because look, one episode is not indicative of where a series is going to go. One episode is not going to save a bad series.
And when they found me, they ate my flesh. And my flesh granted them powers and revelations. You are getting closer, Truth Seeker.
Rock solid. You just don't like that Encounter at Farpoint had men in skirts. No, I'm Scottish. I'm used to men in kilts.
The truth, the ultimate truth about life. If I prove able to resurrect life, then it will only be a matter of time before I know how to create it. It will be the end of gods, be they ancient and powerful.
Call it what you want, Rock Solid. I'm going to call it a kilt.
Stop using your powers and never again approach the cult. Oracle or not, they will not get you.
So Sarah was the bad guy. Saving her was not a good choice. Let's see what... I keep waiting for something to jump out at me here. I know the sound's supposed to be far in the distant background, but they've made this part honestly too quiet. Is that Sarah? There's some dead whalers.
You need a truth seeker. Someone with exceptional sensitivity to his dreams.
See, Rock saw that. I told you I had it up.
Gift will lead him to this island. As I am the Oracle, I speak for him we cannot name.
Track the truth like the bloodhound you are.
It's a funny way of describing me.
What has she done?
Bloody Captain. I'm not dying in this rat hole. Come on. If I find him...
Maybe I can team up with Cat now. Jeff is saying, I think it was officially called a scant. Maybe scant? SC? I don't know.
What are you still doing here, Detective?
I need to go to the whaling station.
It's locked. You'll need a key to get there.
Right.
Go get me a first aid kit. I might have something for you.
Okay, we're going to ask her what happened, or are we just going to tell her to wait for me? Let's see. Robert is asking, how accurate was the Highlander movies and TV series about Scottish life and history? Monty's saying bad, very bad. I'm going to take your word for it. I actually don't know a lot about Scottish history. Or really modern life, to be fair. Yeah, that's right, Rock Solid. It's a Samsung phone. It's the new Samsung S20. I've been stalling for a long time to get a new phone. The other one, the USB port wasn't charging. I had to do wireless charging, and that was starting to get iffy. So I finally broke down and bought the new Samsung. I tend to like Samsung pretty well. I also got this nifty case for it. So it's a quad lock case, and you can see it. I actually got one of these flip top things that you can put it in and just snaps in like that. But what's nice about this is it actually had an adapter for my bike. So as long as I take out this piece, I can slip it onto my bike, or I got one for my car too. The one for my car is a wireless charger also. So it's nice. It's overpriced, to be honest, but I needed something where I can quickly pop it onto my bike to record, you know, where I go and how long I go, because I'm vain like that. And then I also, what I really, really needed was something for my car that would do wireless charging when I pop it in, and so I'm not having to fool around with cables and stuff, because I just do a ton of driving for my work. So I'm going to ask her what happened, since I'm not getting any responses.
You were chasing Fitzroy, but now you're here, injured.
How do you know? There were too many.
I can get a rock solid case on Teespring.
If I don't get something to...
A rock solid phone case, or just a rock solid case, like for an NES game?
I'm coming back with a first aid kit.
Hurry up. I won't last long.
Because I did see those cases you got that fit your Nintendo games, or NES games, excuse me. Let me be specific here. NES. I want to say I saw one for Super Nintendo. Rock Solid, how many do you have? All the systems, or what do you got there? But I did see them. They're very well done, and I saw they had your logo on them. A phone case for the S20. That I did not know. Okay, so we're going to try and find her a first aid kit. We'll see what happens. So I'm a little disappointed at this part in the game.
What happened here?
Because I've really been enjoying the investigation style and giving me, you know, it's been a railroad, to be fair, but at least it gave me the opportunity to solve it in different ways. I wonder if I can just sneak past them. Huh, look at that. I did not think that would work. Sneak, 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 sneak. Sorry, I kind of got... I totally distracted myself, everyone. Sorry about that. I really got absorbed into what's going on in the game. Oh, maybe they are giving me an option here. Maybe they're letting me kind of try to stealth my way around things. We'll see. Roxal is saying I have Famicom, NES, SNES, Super Famicom, N64, GameCube, Wii U, Switch, Master System, Genesis, 32X, Sega CD, Saturn Dreamcast, 26, and as always, you can get all this at, what's it, Castlemania, where Castle Points something, something, something. I've almost got it memorized. But no, you're saying you have it on your Teespring. Let's see. I'm supposed to find a first aid kit, but I'm not really...
Only I have the right to eat it. The chosen one. I am the chosen one.
It's a good thing this game isn't keeping track of my bullets. Also, I found out that I don't have to aim. As long as I push the use button, I hit every time. So take that for Stormtrooper aim.
It looks like St. Brendan's critics finally got him. Probably the cult's work.
Is that you, Detective? Can't leave the damn island, huh?
Yeah, thanks, Roy.
Go to the whaling station.
I'll help you get there if you bring me something to fix this wound.
I'm coming back with a first aid kit.
Make it quick.
Okay, so now I have 2 people that I need to be saving. Still don't know where to find a first aid kit, but okay. We'll hold tight, everyone. We'll see what I can't find. Click. Monty's saying, one thing I don't like about this game is that even if they're possessed, that 1911 should be dropping them in one shot. You know, Monty, when I actually do hit them, it does drop them in one shot. It's just a matter of me actually hitting them. And you know, that is one of the nice things about the Cthulhu series. As long as you, or it's very much a people are just people. It doesn't matter how long you, how high your level gets. You're always just a person.
How many died because of this madness?
I think I'm up to 7 or 8 now. Haven't been keeping count, to be fair. And so while your skills will get better, so let's say the longer you go on in Call of Cthulhu, and you get better and better at picking locks, and that's true. Like, okay, as a human being, the more I practice the skill, the better I will get at it. But no matter how advanced I get, a bullet is still going to take a person down, you know? Okay. Somewhere around here is a health kit. First aid kit, but where? And Roxala is saying it's also PS1 through 4, Xbox, and Xbox One. Now, did you get all of those from, oh, what was his name? I forget the person who made the case that you featured. He does cases for like $5 a pop. Very reasonable. It's just, gosh, if I were to completely get covers for all my, just my NES collection by itself, I'd go broke. Because most of my NES games, this is something I'm so sad about. I did not do a good enough job growing up keeping all my NES games in their cases with manuals and stuff. And so most of them are just sitting there, no dust sleeve, no case, nothing. Oh, shoot. And then something I'm kicking myself out now is that for most of my CD-based games, I have, you know, like Xbox 360, yada, yada, yada. I kept the case, or I kept it in a case, but not the case. So I didn't like how thick these cases were. So I got some of those slim DVD cases, and then I put them in a slim case, and I kept the manual, but I did replace the case. So if I ever was interested in being like, hey, let's I got a duplicate, so I'm going to sell this one off. It would never be at as full of a price that it could be at, and it just kind of lowers the value of my collection. Now, fortunately, I'm not looking to sell them. I enjoy my games, and I want to keep my games, but I am sad that I didn't have the foresight to take better care of my games. And to be fair, I mean, most of these games I got when I was like, you know, a kid. Like most of the NES games, I was like 10 and stuff. Okay, what the heck? I feel like I've been everywhere, man. I haven't found a first aid kit. In the bathroom, maybe? Because who wouldn't keep a first aid kit next to your toilet? This door goes in and out. That's amazing. Look at that. That's a fancy door right there. Of course, I wouldn't want my bathroom door not to have an official stop on this side. Monty's saying, when this game is set in the 1920s, the guy would have training for World War I that was included in pistol training. I wish that was reflected in the shooting animation. Attention everyone, note from Fitzroy, the boat captain. I want all the boats removed from the bay immediately. Sailing boats, small boats, everything that floats. No one can escape us now. Their fates are sealed as the great Lord will rise from the deep, rise from the depths. No one can escape his grasp. Soon, my brothers, we will rejoice because the long-awaited moment is upon us. Crazy man. Still haven't found that first aid kit. Sorry, Cat. You know, I'm not sure if they explicitly stated that our character was in World War I or not. And let's be honest, as much as I like this game, and I think it's done a decent job with the graphics, I at the same time would definitely say that they have not gone out of their way to do a lot with the actual character animations. There's definitely a lot of related people on this island. Like, everyone looks the same. Just it's the same character asset used over and over again, which there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's just really obvious. Like, they didn't do much in the way of changing up assets. Like okay, here's the same face, but he has like a mutton beard, and here's the same face with the same beard, but it's red instead of blonde. It's like, okay, you could have put a little more effort into changing things up. Like, maybe some advanced texture filtering. Maybe I'm being too picky. Yeah, it was inbreeding, Thomas. That's what it was. Everyone on this island really is related to everyone else on the island. That's why everyone looks the same. That must be it. Why the frowny face, Jeff? Well, this is not going well. Can I pull out? Okay, let's see if I can't find something in the dark. Because I'm running out of places to look. I'm also running out of oil for my lamp. No. Put it away, son. That's another thing about this game. It doesn't have the best control structure. Like, I'm trying to put this away, and usually scrolling the mouse wheel will at one point just get it to be put away. But instead, all I'm doing now is I'm flipping between my lighter and my lamp with no way of putting it away, apparently. Stupid thing. Here we go. Sheesh. Jeff is saying, because my life sucks, that's why. I'm sorry to hear that. Man, I wonder if there's... I know you're going through some hard times there, Jeff. Is there anything...
Come over here.
Is there anything that can improve your lot in life, my friend? It seems like, if your life has been this miserable for this long, you need a radical change or something to what's going on in your life. like a job or new job, or a new places to hang out. Here we go. Here's first aid
kit. 2 wounded people. Who deserves it?
Neither. They both stink.
Hope his boss will have more luck.
Okay, guys. Here's a good opportunity to make a choice. Are we going to help Kat, the mob lady, or are we going to heal Mitchell, the whaler? So if y'all have a preference for who I save, go ahead and type it into the chat. Are we going to save Kat or Mitchell? And we'll keep looking around and see if I don't find maybe another one. I'm pretty sure we're only going to find one, though. Frankly, I think that I've killed just about everyone on the island at this point. Tom's is saying the world ending would improve his life. I don't think it would improve so much as end, you know?
Shit. They're going to the whaling station. I'd better hide and wait until they're gone.
Giant asteroid 2020. Oh. Can I put my gun away? No, no, everything's wrong. Oh, well, that'll do it. Yeah, save the mob lady. Okay, we're gonna go save the mob lady. Sorry, Mitchell. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hiding from the mob. Of people, not the actual mob. We're gonna go save the mob. It would have been interesting if there's a timer, like you get back and you find her dead.
I might have something for you.
Okay, we've already decided to give her the first aid kit, so we're just gonna give it.
Here, take it.
Right. The entrance to the whaling station is behind the Hawkins warehouse.
Okay, we got the bootlegger's key. Very good. Manana. That's right, rock solid.
Enough.
Okay, so honestly, as I'm doing all this, I am wondering if the game will have different outcomes based on how bloodthirsty I decide to be. Like if I decided not to just shoot my way through the whole island, but if I decide to like be stealthy and go around these people, I wonder if it would have had like a different outcome. Use the bootlegger passage? Oh, okay. Okay, so if I'd saved this guy over here, which I wonder if he's dead now or
he didn't make it.
So honestly, at this point,
he didn't make it.
I'd be searching through his clothes to see if like I could get the key to get in through this gate over here. But that's just me. Calling me a son of a bird? What have I done, Rock Solid? Speaking of not taking good enough care of my past video games, unfortunately, I also lost my GameCube and my Game Boy Advanced. I let my my nephews and nieces use it, and I forgot to ask for it back. So it was my own fault. It was my own fault. But I was sad when I realized that, oops, I should have mentioned to them that when they're done enjoying their uncle's stuff, go ahead and send it back. Because I left it very open-ended. Like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. You know, if it turns out like you know, it gets damaged or something, I can always get a new one. That's how I worded it. But I didn't mean to say like just get rid of it whenever you're done with it. And I've noticed that, Rock Solid. The GameCube is really spiking in price. I'm not sure why. So one of the things I'm trying to decide right now is I do want to kind of start rounding out my retro collection. Because as more time goes on, good quality retro stuff is going to be harder and harder to find. And I was thinking about getting a GameCube again, but I have a Wii, and the Wii plays GameCube games, and it does it natively. So I'm not really sure if it's worth getting a GameCube when I already have the Wii. The reason I keep debating it is because the GameCube does allow for you to get the Game Boy adapter for the bottom of it. So I can play Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games on the GameCube. And I think that might be the best way to actually play those sort of games without, like on a TV. So yeah, I could get a Game Boy Advance and have a Game Boy Advance, but then I'm playing like this. I'm trying to figure out if the Nintendo DS...
Damn it.
Oh gosh. They were counting bullets, so now I gotta be stealthy. They should have explained that a little more carefully up front. That would have changed some of my actions. I wonder if I'll find more bullets. Okay, so yeah. I'm trying to figure out... I know that the first version of the Nintendo DS can do Game Boy Advance games. And I want to say it can do Game Boy Color games as well. But with later versions of the Nintendo DS, they removed the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance additional cartridge slot. Like it was a unique slot specifically for Game Boy Advance games. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to make a choice about that. Hey, Yosef Petrick, how you doing? Because, so, if it turns out that if the original Nintendo DS, the one that actually can play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, if it can also be hooked up to a TV, then that might be my best way of doing the original DS games up on a screen, along with like Game Boy games. If it cannot do, if it can't do up on a TV screen, then I think my best choice would be to get a GameCube, then get the Game Boy adapter for the bottom, and of course the disc. Now the disc, I have plans to replace the disc, the laser disc, with maybe a. I've seen these adapters where you can take out the disc drive and put in an SD card reader, basically. And then I can still use my Wii to make backups of my GameCube games, and then play those backups on the GameCube using like the SD card. So yeah, lots of options there. Right now, I'm really debating about getting the GameCube or or not. And really the only reason I would get the GameCube is specifically for the Game Boy part of it. I do know that there were a couple games on the Wii where it didn't do like it had an error doing the GameCube games. I want to say that there's a game called Geist, which was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. It was a puzzle first-person shooter, and there was a certain point in the game where 9 times out of 10 it would crash. I'm not sure if they ever fixed that, but I do know that is an issue with playing Game Boy games on the Wii. It's not 100% perfect. So I'm gonna we'll do any cutscene that's here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. At least in terms of playing. We might keep talking about video game stuff if you guys want. Roxol is saying that the Wii and DS have wireless connectivity on some games. That's kind of cool. So what I'm leaning toward right now is getting a GameCube, and then
Sarah is with those bastards. I gotta find her quick.
Oh, I'm going crazy. Let's look at my character here. Okay, I have 9 points available. I'm going to go ahead and round out my investigation abilities. And then, let's see. Not caring too much about strength still. Let's improve my spot hidden. And that's what I'll do with that. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it there. So let's see. Yeah, so the only reason I would get the GameCube is for, and this is a direction I'm leaning toward. Get the GameCube, get the Game Boy Advance adapter. Right now, I can get a GameCube for around $28. It has a disc read error on it, but honestly, most people don't know how to fix these game consoles, and so there's simple things that are probably causing it. The most likely one, of course, being that the lens might just be dirty. A little bit of a Q-tip and a little bit of alcohol is usually all it takes. If that's not it, it could be that the potentiometer that controls how strong the laser is misaligned, misset over time. Resistors kind of deteriorate over time. So simply trimming the pot to the correct values to, I think it needs to be between 200 and 500 ohms of resistance. So getting it there is fine. Like Rock Solid is saying, it might need to be that the laser needs to be completely replaced, and that's not difficult. Yeah. So I'm tempted toward getting it, because once I got that, I will get the Game Boy player, and hopefully it would come with a disc. And if it doesn't come with a disc, I might do a quick soft mod just so I can write a backup disc, and that way I could have a whole setup for relatively cheap. And then that way also I can take my leisure to find the game player disc. You know, that's the thing with these things. If you try to rush it, you will pay through the nose for Retro Console. But if you're willing to be patient, then you can find these systems relatively cheap. And not just patient, but if you're willing to put in a little bit of effort to fix it. I bought a Super Nintendo. I bought 2 of them for $15 each. And the person who sold them said they do not work at all. 100% broken. Both of them work just fine. I had to clean the game connector on one, and on the other one, over time, there's a little ribbon that connected the controller ports to the motherboard, and it had just become loose somehow. And all I had to do was reseat that connector, and I got 2 good working Super Nintendos. One of them does have a damaged shell, but hey, you know what? These systems, they're out there. A little bit of patience, a little bit of know-how, and at worst case, you do have to do soldering every once in a while, and you're good to go. And Rock Solid, yes, the one I'm looking at, it does have the digital output port. In fact, you know what, everyone, you convinced me that I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I don't want to miss it, because it is a eBay thing. And it was recently renewed, and for some reason people passed it over. Oh, looks like I may have already missed it. Oh well. such is life. There will be another sale on it. I shouldn't have him and Hod about it. Rats. Oh well. So anyway, yeah, it did have a digital output port. That was one of the things I'm looking for. Captain Trek, we know Life with Natty keeps a lot of alcohol on hand. It's true. Okay, so humorous story. I was reading on fixing a disk read error, like if I had to do a more complicated repair, and I came across a web forum and someone was saying, you know, I'm getting this error, and they said, well, you know what, you just need a little alcohol. Put a little alcohol in a Q-tip and you'll be good to go. And the guy put Heineken on a Q-tip and tried to clean it, and he's like, it's like it didn't work. In fact, it seems almost worse somehow. And everyone's like, no, rubbing alcohol. We wanted you to put rubbing alcohol on it, not like a random beer, you idiot. And after a while, he tried to claim that it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. Like he had totally ruined it, and he had to send it off to the Nintendo to do their repair service. And that's true. You do have to be careful with alcohol and laser lenses. You can actually damage the laser with it, but you do it right, and it'll turn out fine. I do keep around one of these nice lint-free cloths to clean up things like that. Usually, honestly, oftentimes I don't even need to put alcohol in something like a laser reader. Usually, I can very gently just get whatever smudge is on there wiped away with a dry, soft cloth like this, and you'll be good to go. Anyway, I think I do need to wrap things up here. Guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you the next time, and we will continue this adventure to see how Edward Pierce does. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please share it, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that bell icon to be kept up to date with all the new videos that I release on this channel. And as always, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.